let's just start because this is the first time we've actually met. Although I've spoken to you online and I've subscribed um, to your Substack, which is really good. And yeah, I love the way you interact with your members. So I just start by telling us a little bit about yourself then.
Yes, I'm Alain, self-improvement writer. I would love, to inspire people from my own experience. So I put all my effort into involving people in a good practice and building positive habits. Especially on Substack, I see it, open court for anyone who can help and try to build their own skills here. So it starts like the writing skills. It starts with the passion to read, and then switching to writings, and then now on Substack. So I'm very proud. I'm with you, and yeah, this is building self improvement writer with the coaching, because based on my life experience and all my struggles that I was before, and I would like to give the people what I learn, and why not putting on Substack and sharing the stories, helping people. Like, for sure, people need this. Yeah, so this is briefly from where I am till here. I'm living now in
Yeah,
Canada,
yeah.
and yeah, practicing the reading and the writing every day as a habit, and a lot to improve. And I have a lot to show to my audience on Substack. And yeah, that's it.
And that's lovely. The fact that you said I've got a lot to improve on, but you're not waiting until you're perfect before you start. You're getting in there and doing it, even though obviously English isn't your first language, but you're writing and teaching in English,
Yes.
which is amazing. Um, I you I was thinking about I was thinking this morning. It's quite funny, but I was thinking this morning, it just came to me. I was thinking about Substack and the different people I've met on here, and like everybody talks about how they got here, and the journey they've been on, the struggles they might have been through. And it made me think of one of those old films, the disaster movies that were around in the 70s, 80s. You may not even remember it, probably not old enough, but that you had things like the Tower and Inferno, and so you've got buildings on fire, you've got people stuck under underground railways. But the film always goes through like the main characters and goes through their backstory and how they got to be in that building
Yeah.
or on that aeroplane or on that train at the time. And it just made me think of Substack, because we're all like congregating here with all our backstories and all trying to help each other and get through this. So I just thought that was a really good analogy or metaphor, whichever it is.
Especially people share their own personal experience, personal stories. As an example, for me, I have a background in finance, which is totally different from writing skills. So shifting was hard, and especially I was born in a country that they don't support you. The vibe, the environment, even the mentality of the families, the tradition, they don't support you. So I was discovering the hard way, which is
Mm.
I can't, 5 years ago or more, I couldn't even imagine that I can have a conversation in English and even go live. It's crazy. If you discover from where I started till now, it's really a huge difference. So another person, you're talking to another Alain now. It's not the old Alain that he finds himself. So I think the start was the curiosity, building the skills, and keep going. The habits of repetition, repetition, insisting of having the what you want. So I was remember before I was dreaming to come to Canada. I was seeing this in my dreams. Imagine, I was seeing myself walking in the streets of Canada, with the snow and what the people told me back then. So it happens. I came
Mhm.
after 6 or 7 times of refusal of my visas, and all the story about the immigration stuff. So I get skills of immigration. Student, I help immigrants to come to Canada or anywhere they want, to UK, to the US, just helping them because I discovered this the hard way. So this is the
Mm.
basic. This is why I'm here, just to let the people know that they can have whatever they want or whatever they wish to. If the EU insisting with persistence, you know, you can have it.
Yes.
That's one of million of stories that I have, with my archive and articles. So I
Mm.
think this is inspiring me, and that's why I would love to share it with the people, especially on Substack.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? Persistence, not giving up, and that dreaming about walking through the snow in Canada and keep repeating it over and over again. And what your brain does when you do that, you're visualizing it, and your brain is realizing that this is something you want. So because you are telling your brain you want it, it will look for opportunities. Now those opportunities are always there, but you wouldn't have noticed them. So, your mind deletes stuff that it doesn't think is important. So, because you've told your brain, look, this is important, I want to go and live in Canada, it's looking for opportunities for you. And this is how you got there.
Yes.
But where did you start then? What is your original country?
Lebanon.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
I was
yeah.
born. I was born in a family, with the old tradition. We support each other as sisters and brothers.
Mm,
So I couldn't imagine myself when I was young that I will quit. I will leave the country. That's first. Second, I was built without confidence, zero, nothing.
mm, mm,
Imagine a person without confidence. How can you face your obstacles? How can you even, gain strength or power? So when I switch my perspective from a consumer, you be to be consumer from your life, just attacking and having all your obstacle around you, and just you are the watcher. So I
mm,
said to myself, no. I closed when I was, I think, 18, 17. It wasn't too late for me. When I was 18, I closed the room and I said to myself, this is no go. This is not
mm,
the life that I want to be in,
mm, mm.
So what's next? When I ask the first question, what's next? It comes a lot of questions, and just testing my capabilities. What can I do? So I grab a paper and a pen, and then start just brain mapping. Put my brain on
Mhm.
a piece of paper.
Yeah.
What I would like to do, what I'm doing right now, like objectives in 6 months, 12 months, and I put them as a brain map. What am my weaknesses, was full of list, and two or three strengths, without confidence, the person without confidence, and start discovering the tools. So the first barriers I was discovering with my friend. He came to the city for a short vacation. He told me, let's exchange languages.
Right.
So that's the start. He knows English, I know French, a bit French from my school. And then we start exchanging in the car, talking two languages. I talked to him in French, and he he answered in English. And yeah, that's what was the start. Languages, catching the tools, and I was talking to myself in English, in French. How can
Mm,
I leave the country? Since 2015, I decided to quit the country, and when I was 24, I finished my studies in accounting. I took a bachelor degree and then master's in finance when I was 23, and I started working younger age. When I was, I think, 21, 20, I started working in a shop, phone shop. They selling phones. I was discovering the technicality and the skills using the phones,
Hmm.
using phones, and then I pay my tuition fees because of this shop, and then switching to another job near my place of living, and facing all these struggles, with my death of my sister, and then
Right.
my mom died after 3 months,
Oh.
and then I quit the country in 2021 August. So imagine this. I couldn't imagine even this path, without these struggles. Because
Yeah.
without them, I couldn't even recognize myself. I couldn't even know how much can I do or my capabilities. So it starts with 2015. I want to quit the country, talking to lawyers, but I didn't have the money to pay them. So let's discover by myself. And then 2016, doing 2, 3 tests of languages. 2017, fail many times in French test. 2018, failure also. And then back home, talking to myself in French, increase my level, open the TV. It was a huge repetition of my skills. Let's build them. Let's build them. Let's build them. Until 2019, we got the revolution in Lebanon. This is the most, like, the first revolution,
Yeah.
um, recent years, 2019. So we were attacking the government, and then the government started shooting us with weapons. And I see people in front of me. I was like, what I am doing here, like,
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh.
So 2020, another explosion in the city. I was working in a shipping company in 2019. I quit, and then I go back home, and in 2020 the explosion was in the same near the same company that I was working with.
Wow. God.
So all the windows of the company are breaking down, because of this explosion.
Mm.
But for me, I was already quit. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, what's
But you were
going on?
saved. You were saved. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you obviously you're meant to be here. So when you were, because you didn't have any confidence, you say, which I resonate with that. I didn't have any confidence either. And you had this dream that you wanted to be in Canada, which presumably for you was like a completely different world, like different
yes.
weather, different atmosphere, different way of life. So you wanted to be in this different world, Canada, and you were trying to get there, and all of these things were coming up, like all these barriers were coming up in front of you, and a lot of people, particularly where you don't have a lot of confidence, a lot of people would just think, "Oh well, this isn't for me. I'm destined." Especially, they would potentially adopt a victim mindset and just think, "Well, I can't get out of here. I'm stuck with this life. I've got to stay here," and maybe even spiral downwards into a depression. But you didn't. You kept fighting, and you kept going back and taking that test over and over and
Yes.
over again. What was driving you?
There's a lot of challenges, but there's a lot of driving. The tools, initiative that I have. It's you know I read a book for Ryan Holiday. It's called The Obstacles the Way.
Ryan Holiday, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the book that drives me to change my mentality and keep going. Because I see people now, they underestimate the power of habits, the power of doing and repeating things and stuff every and daily. Like the power when you read every day 10 or 15 pages for the brain is very healthy. The same when you go to the gym and you start building your muscle. It's the brain is a muscle, so the
Hmm.
same topic. The what drives me inside. I have two sisters in Canada. This is first reason. I was alone in Lebanon with my mom. My mom came here twice, and 3 times, I think. She saw her daughters, and then she came back home. She told me, Canada is amazing. You have to go. You know, you have to
Oh,
go. And then she gave up after, because I was remembering. She told me, "You are not tired yet of insisting." She was asking me
yeah, yeah,
because she told me, she suggests, like, stay here. You know, and you have your house, you have your place, just stay here
mm,
and change the method, do
mm,
something, you know.
mm,
I was like, no, I'm reading, mom. I can do it. I can do it. Why not me, you know? So
yeah,
family is the first reason. Second reason, the books that I was reading. And three, my curiosity, because I'm a guy, sorry, I'm curious in knowledge, you know. When you start asking question, that's it. That's the first step.
hmm,
And as I told you, the people underestimate their power, the power of habits, how the repetition can you elevate you as a human, as skills, as languages, and all the other, you know, like corners in life.
yeah,
So after 2020 explosion, 2021, I discovered the death of my, my sister and my mom, and then I quit in August 2021 to came here and redo my master's degree in finance
okay,
in a
yeah,
different environment, French school, different. Everything was different, you know. But my family helps me to support me to finish this, and then 2022, the job, you know, start to see the environment, and after that, I discovered that I have to be the creator. I have to give the people what I learn. So we end up in 2023, 2024, building till now, still building and building and
yeah,
repeating the things that I already know, and, you know, build another habits that are very positive and healthy.
yes, yeah, yeah. And I love what you say about habits, because the more you repeat something, the more deeper it's set into your brain, so it forms a neural pathway, and you end up doing it automatically, because your brain loves to do things on automated pilot. So it because that saves it energy, and your brain uses an awful lot of energy. So anything that it can just forget about, it likes that. So if you do something on repeat, it just sets up that automatic,
So you mastered them.
exactly,
You mastered them.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
So this is
I built,
this is
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say that's how habits work.
Yeah. So I built confidence through experience,
Yeah.
because I came from scratch. Imagine, no language, no personality, nothing. It's a pure guy, you know, who wants to play in the, like, in the middle of the, you know, the streets, and born in a city that it's really cozy, like quiet place, you know. And then
Mm.
discover myself at the age of 15, 16, that I'm not that guy that I want to be. And then 18, start doing and discovering things. So I think confidence, it can be built before you born, even with the habits of your mom and
Hmm.
what she was going through. Our parents back home, they were suffering from wars every
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
Every 15 years, there's something wrong going with the country. So you're born in a difficult environment, and that's why I born without confidence. I see it. I see it in myself, and you see failure as a big obstacle in your head. Like, wow, I cannot do that, you know, and crying, you know. And no, it's not me. After you ask the first question, that's what's the trigger. For sure, that's what's the trigger. So the confidence is built by time, by knowledge, by asking questions, and do things on spot. If I want to talk to Sue about something, ask her question. Let's call her now.
Yeah.
You know, if you just postpone things, you will never do it.
Yeah.
Just do the thing now. So the power of now. There's a book talking about the power of
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I read that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of now, for like, it's a spiritual book. I like it, but it didn't show you the practical steps
No.
exactly. So I discovered these the hard way, and put them on paper, which is that's the reason of my newsletter.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I mean,
mixing.
a lot of it is to do with knowing how your brain works, and if you understand how your brain works, it makes a lot more sense. So if you wait, then your ego or your inner critic will talk you out of it. So if you think, oh, I want to do this, but you don't do it straight away, or you don't start making steps towards it straight away, then your ego mind, your inner critic will say, yeah, but what if this happens and what if that happens? And it will come up with all these different reasons why you shouldn't do it. And in the end, you'll talk yourself out of it. Whereas if you just think, no, I am doing it, I'm getting on with it. And you start, as soon as you start making that move, and then it shuts up because it thinks, well, you're obviously going to do it. So
Yeah.
I'll just let you get on with it, sort of thing.
Yeah, especially when you suffer, as an example, from any side of your life, you suffer financially, as an example,
Hmm.
you shouldn't focus on this point. You have to focus on something that you're already building it or knowing it, and then build over your confidence, and then focus on the things that you want to do. Because when you focus and you shift your perspective on negative things or the things that you don't have, it's really a suffer. It will switch your perspective totally, and you don't want to be negative. When you catch positivity, you see all your environment and surroundings positive, and then it start building that way. So I see it practical in my practical steps, which is, I want people know about them, about these steps. And I told myself, why not doing the writings as a skills? And I was impacted by positively by Nicola Cole, one of
Yeah.
the main,
Yeah.
is his genius. He's the smartest guy. I
He is.
see. Yeah, I took the plan. I took his advices and start writing. Especially when I started, I didn't know how to write or about what. So I start writing one sentence per day. Imagine one sentence per day, whatever it shows in your brain, just the first idea, like now,
Right.
just write
And
it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then after several days, 7 days, I build a small article, and then it goes on. Now I don't know. I want to build my own book, personal
Okay.
stories
Yeah.
inspired by my life experience, mixing with the practical steps that I discover in the tools. And these will be crazy. Like I see it. It's a good book to be. I see it. Yeah.
So this is your new visualization. You can see this book that you're going to write.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
will. You'll write it definitely. Adam's just saying he likes the quote, the best time to start was earlier, the second best time is now. That's absolutely true. Yeah, just do it. Don't
Yes.
wait
Just
around.
do it now. Even if you fail in it, just repeat it. Repeat it. Repeat. The power of repetition gives you persistence, which is you needed in your life. And then you discover these in the people that you want to be around, the
Mm.
people that they wish you positivity and they support you. These the people that you want to be with, and even you support others by to be as a giver. I think giving is really essential also to be
Yeah.
happy. you
Oh
know
yeah,
uh,
definitely. Yeah.
giver is a big part of my life also.
Yeah, because I
And
can see in your community that you are very, I mean, I need to be more like you actually. You're very hands on in your community. So, what I mean is, you're putting messages on every day, you're giving people ideas of what they ought to be thinking about. And I like that. I like that interaction you have, and I can see it's building up now because people are responding to you more and more. I need to start doing that myself, so that's that's
yeah,
really good what you're doing there.
yeah, the
But I
map.
guess that comes from your background. You were saying earlier that when you when you lived in Lebanon, originally everybody supported each other and everybody was like a close community in the old days, and I guess you've still got that kind of way of living inside you, that you like that community kind of
Yes,
ethos?
it's a family tradition. The family has to be supportive to each other, you know, as a community. Sometimes, you know, your dad doing stuff, you know, in front of you, like it didn't allow you to do that job like you. He was insisting, my dad, sometimes to do my job. I told him, no, let me try by myself.
I tried that as well.
Yeah, let me fail, you know. I told him, let
Yeah.
me fail to learn, you know. So
Mm.
it's helpful community for sure, tradition, but sometimes it goes negative because they see their kids as their own, you know,
It's
they own their kids.
overprotective. Yeah,
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 protective,
my
which is
dad was the same. Yeah, yeah. It was you don't fail. My dad was like, you don't fail. That's
yeah.
it.
And
There's
how
no
do you
such
wanna
thing as failure.
how you gonna learn without failure? You know,
Yeah.
failure is a big setback for the failure, and you discover another method. Let's switch the way, like do something. You know, just do it now and keep going. So it was, yeah, the tradition was good, and the mix. This is a great mix when you discover your things alone and then you have this background in your tradition, so it gives you the power to give, you know. So that's why my newsletter is based on showing the people the practice steps, and then at the end, you know, when I go live with them, the regular calls or whatever, sharing their personal stories or whatever they want to share, their project, and then matching with the people they suffer, and then everyone has these different ways, and then maybe I can teach you something, you can teach me something.
Yeah.
This is how we match the person stories at the end, and we go as a group of community, you know, and call each other as group chat or whatever, and then just sharing ideas. That's the
Yeah.
huge the huge objective of my newsletter. Yeah.
And wouldn't it be wonderful if the world looked like that? You know, the world did
Yeah.
that as well. Because, like everybody, when we have a problem, there's always somebody in the world somewhere that's had that same problem and found a
Correct.
solution. So,
Correct.
if we were on that connection basis, that there was always somebody we could. I mean, you can go on YouTube now, can't you, and find the answers to most things. But wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we were just all connected and all supporting each other like we should do, rather than being made to like fight against each other all the time, and compare ourselves to other people and think, well, he's got what I want, therefore, he's better than me, I'm no good, or I've got to take that from him. There's all this fighting, which I don't like. And obviously coming from Lebanon, you
Yeah.
know that things can get very horrible very quickly.
Yes, because I remember when the explosion happens in 2020 with the COVID and all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's 300 people died back then,
Wow.
4 of August 2020. So I went to Beirut second day and start supporting and volunteering. So people ask me, "What are you doing? Why you're going to?" My mom was like, "Why you're helping people? You need help." I told them,
Mm.
"Let's go." You know, fixing the windows, it was disaster, and just helping them without questioning. So the
Oh,
people
yeah.
asking us, who's these people, who's the, like me with my friends, who are you guys, like why you're helping us, old people, babies, women, without asking. This is a huge, you know, a huge impact. It gives you wisdom, it gives you power to whatever it happens in your life, to overcome it quickly, like, you know, like you know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, explosion, revolution, wars, everything it happens, it's really impact me. And it keeps you, if you keep them inside, it's not good. You have to release them. So my release is my writings, my sports, music. Yesterday I did a long distance and singing at the same time, singing.
Really.
I don't
Yeah.
want to, yeah, I don't need the phone, you know. I don't need the phone with earphones. Just sing and hear your own voice. It's really happiness in the small moments. And we are lucky, like, um, the Lebanese, they quit the country, they are very lucky, because
Mhm.
Yeah, in general, it's not safe, but now it's getting better for sure, and I hope, you know, all my family be here. So I have now two parts. My family, like two sisters in Canada, and my dad and my brother in Lebanon. So
Okay.
this unbalance, it keeps me thinking about going back to say to live with them a little bit and then come back. So this is a huge unbalance, but we'll find a way as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so what are your future plans for Substack then? So I know you want to write your book, and I guess you're building your community. Is there anything else that you want to do?
It's you know, show the people the clarity of the newsletter, you know, and what they can have after they take the offer, and yeah, showing them the path and the tools and what's necessary to do, and building this community, first 10 people that they can join, you know, sharing, just go online as a group chat and then just let them talk. It's really helpful for everyone, and even for me, help myself and help them to build this. So my like rise and clarity plan is to showing them, and I'm still building the you know, the clarity in the path, and then
Right.
group community, sharing their stories and projects, and even if it's not personal, every any project that I can do individual, I can help them going in regular calls. In finance, I'm doing another section, another publication. Alliance Finance is based on the tools that I learned with my background finance in order to help people organize their financial savings, you know,
Yeah.
and everything they have, even small amounts that they can survive them, you know, and how they gonna pay their bills, because people sometimes they have the money and they don't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
So this is another section, and the section that beyond borders is more inspirational, and it's based on the stories in Canada, and like personal stories, and mixing with immigrants and students, because I was one of them as a
Yes.
student and as an immigrant. So yeah,
Yeah.
the rise in Clarity Insider is in 6 months to build it totally, and to let the people see the practice, take the offer, and then build this community and share it together. Share it the
Okay.
person. But this is will be huge for me. But I see it. I see it in my head. So 10 people, the best people, sharing their personal stories, and then maybe someone have the answer for the other one, and yeah, we go from there.
Yeah.
How
So
did you see it?
have you got your 10 people yet, or are you still looking for them?
I have like 2 or 3 people. I'm still looking for
Okay.
more. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So if somebody is interested in joining you, they should either DM you or look at your Rise and Clarity page.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if the people see that the social problems or what they have as a confidential, they don't want to share it as a group, they can
Hmm.
contact me individual,
Hmm.
and you know, upgrade their service, and then we can go from there. So no problem about individual or groups,
Yeah.
but yeah, they can see the clarity in his head or her head, and to use this practice steps and repetition, and the power of habits in order, you know, to
Yeah.
have this wisdom, and yeah, to solve
Yeah.
their own problems, which is very, very helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So you are exactly what I thought you'd be. You are an inspiration. I mean, what your story is brilliant. How you've overcome all the obstacles. You've been persistent. You've never given up. You're here now, doing something now you love. You've got a new vision. Um, yeah, it's fantastic. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job. I'm very, very inspired by you. So thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything you want to say before we finish off?
um
And also, if anybody in the chat has got any final questions, then please pop them in the chat and we'll answer them. But yeah, carry on.
yes, for sure. I'm very happy to be with you. I appreciate it a lot, and then just tell people what they're gonna do, whatever they wanna do it now without hesitation. And if you fail, repeat it, and you will get it, and you will
Yeah,
get this. Yeah, whatever it is, all the obstacles, it's the problem will end. We'll never have problem forever. So the problem it's gonna be end, and it's in your hand to change your perspective, and then you find your answers. That's the most inspired thing in recently, especially in 2025 with all these digital triggers and the
yes.
power of technology. You have
Yes, which goes right over my head. I don't understand any of it, but
you have to be more connected with the
yeah,
nature, and yeah, this is when you connect to the nature, it gives you power also.
it does.
Uh,
Gwendolyn's saying, how have either of you worked through the fear of failure? Um, for me, the way I worked through it was really, I just pushed myself. Um, I push myself, so I don't think of failing. Well, I have this mantra that I've used for years. So since I came out of my toxic marriage and I had to build my confidence back up, and I was um, very low self-esteem, low confidence, very nervous. Um, and I just kept telling myself everything's going to be okay. And that was the mantra. And it still gets me through anything that I'm worried about. I just say everything will be okay. And then it's like you were just saying, all problems end. They all come to an end at some point. You just have to keep going. And so that's basically how I get over my fear. I just tell myself that I can do this. And the thing is, once you do it once, then you know you can do it.
yes,
So the next
for
time you
sure.
come to do it, you might still have a little bit of fear, but then you say, "Well, I did it last time. I can do it again," and then you just get um, more and more confident. So I have a question about how either of you stay positive with all of those triggers that stress you out in life. Well, if you, Alan, if you answer Gwendolyn's question about overcoming fear first, and then we'll come on
Yes,
to
the
Christopher's question.
overcoming fear, you take it as a setback, and even if you have fear, you have to repeat the way you're facing fears, and especially with the failure, if something wrong, just change the method, and use another way to see things, and then just do it again, and you will find your way. So that's how you face fear, by doing the stuff now, and there's no doubt about it. So that's how you see it. You see the fear of failure as a setback. When you see it in a different way, change your mentality, change the ways, you will find your answers. There's another question about how you stay positive with all these triggers that stress you out in life. Okay, so how you stay positive is, it's okay to be, in general, it's okay to be negative sometimes, stressed sometimes, not motivated sometimes, just take your time to heal, and you will overcome it by time, and time teach you a lot of stuff, especially when you try to do things now, and the power of now. And yeah, that's how you keep seeing the positive in it, and then even if in your bad days, it's okay, just keep it flow, and the good days are coming. So that's it. That's my answer for it. What do you think about the
Yeah,
stress
so
and seeing positive?
stress. Yeah, so years ago, I used to suffer with stress a lot. I had a stressful job. I went through a stressful situation with my marriage. So I did have a lot of stress, and then I remarried. I'm really happy now, but I had stress with being a stepmother to certain elements of the family weren't happy about that. And so yeah, there was a lot of stress. But the way I handle stress now is I think stress is there to tell me something. It's just my body giving me a message. And that could be you're getting overwhelmed, you need to step back. It could be you need to take a rest. It could be you just need to calm yourself and think, how am I going to deal with this? And then the answer will come to you. The important thing is, when you're in a heightened sense of anxiety and stress, you cannot think straight because you're in that fight or flight mode of thinking. So your brain is basically been hijacked and you are trying to work out how you're going to fight this or how you're going to get away from it. If you just calm yourself down and think to yourself, actually, this isn't going to kill me, and then deal with it. And if that means that you go and take a break, take a walk, sit down on your own for a while, look out the window, or just take some deep breaths, just calm yourself down and deal with it. That's, I mean, it's a lot easier said than done, I know, but with practice it does get easier.
Yes, true. And there's an important idea about the brain. The brain tricks you. So sometimes they create the thoughts that are not you even.
Hmm.
So you have to discover this, that your thoughts are not you, and how you overcome these negative thoughts and switch your perspective. So when you switch it, you get everything. So this the people I see them underestimate the idea of seeing things clearly,
Really.
especially when the brain tricks you and give you negative triggers about your environment, your surroundings. So you have to be aware of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So Gwendolyn and Crystal, thank you for your questions, and I hope that answers it. And if there aren't any more questions, I think we'll finish off there. So thank you everybody that's here. It's been brilliant, and thank you so much, Alan. I've
Thank
loved
you so
talking to
much.
you.
I was very happy with you. Thank you so much being
Bless
here.
you. And if you've come in at the end, there will be a replay which I'll put up shortly. And yeah, see you all later. Thank you.
See you.
Bye
Thank you.
then.
Thank you. Bye.